Hi, I'm leaving Dallas today. Let's get into why. I want to be very clear that God told me to move to Dallas very clearly. And so far back that 5 years ago, when I moved to LA, I was like, I will only move back to Texas if it is to Dallas. So I don't know if I learned my lesson here. So I'm not saying I'm moving forever, but there's a reason God wants me in Dallas. So I'm open to it. But let's go to why I'm leaving right now. First thing, I love a downtown vibe. And I think this trip in Dallas has shown me that I'm not really ready to settle down as much as I thought I was ready to. Like the suburbs of Dallas were really nice, but I realized that Dallas proper, look at me, my new language, was where I wanted to be. I wanted the skyline. I wanted the vibe of downtown. Like I really liked that. I was staying in Deep Ellum. It was perfect mix of people, places to eat, things to see, access to a highway, access to go do things. It was great. And then I went uptown and had a racist experience, and that kind of brought me back to being in Texas, because my whole family, we'd be like, we're going to Dallas, but it was the one place that didn't feel like Texas. It was amazing. And then I tried to stay in Oaklawn on Tuesday. I checked in my Airbnb. I immediately checked out, literally, and I went back to my original Airbnb. And I realized I'm just a city girl, and I just need that city girl vibe. And nowhere else was providing that for me. Even after looking at other places, it just wasn't Deep Ellum. I really like Deep Ellum. So too, when the racist thing happened, it reminded me of when I lived in Texas and had to actively deal with overt racism. I had this guard up living here that I got to put down and be free from when I left here. And that little ass moment, even though it wasn't super bad, just that moment brought me back to, now I have to put that guard back up. And it's like, you don't have to deal with racism. You can leave. Like, I urge you, if you feel like every day you feel like I have to be on edge for someone to be racist, please move to somewhere else, because you don't have to deal with that. In other places, it's really freeing to not deal with that. And for the spiritual reasons, 2 days after the racist thing happened, I moved in that new Airbnb. The experience was so bad. I felt so unsafe in Oaklawn. It just wasn't it. I only liked where I was. So, and it's so funny because I was taking a separate trip from Dallas this weekend, and I had this epiphany. I was like talking to my sister. I was like, oh my gosh, maybe this is a chance for me to just extend that trip in the city I'm going to this weekend. And I called my mom. She's an intuitive medium, and she was having the same conversation with someone else. If you heard me say that the other day, and she was like, take that as a sign and go. Just go spend a week over there, see if you want to stay there. So I don't really know where I'm going. I've never been one to like travel and float like this, but I feel like this is just what journey God has me on right now. I'm just in transition for real, and I'm someone psycho enough to believe in the plan and just trust it 100%. So that's what I'm doing. I may come back to Dallas, I don't know, but I just really liked where I was, and I don't know. We'll just have to see, but it's been cool for 2 weeks. Also, here's a list of things I still have to come back and do, so I'll be back.